Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, The Literary Expedition. Today I'm gonna analyze Edward Albee's The Zoo Story and the character sketches of Peter and Jerry. So let's get started. Sketch of Peter. Physical features. Peter is characterized in the very beginning as a man in his early 40s, neither fat nor gaunt, neither handsome nor homely. He wears tweeds, smokes a pipe, and carries horn-rimmed glasses. Although he is moving into middle age, his dress and his manners would suggest a man younger. He is the man that follows the lead of fashion because he belongs in the upper middle class, so we presume that he can afford it. He is described to let the audience believe that he is the average American man. Social aspect. Peter, as he says, has an executive position in a small publishing house that publishes textbooks. It is a well-paid job at that time, as he informs Jerry later. Peter, well, I make around 18,000 a year. As said before, he belongs in the upper middle class, and from his good working position, we presume that he is well educated also. The same thing thinks Jerry about him. Jerry, you are an educated man, aren't you? Are you a doctor? He is married and has two children, daughters, though he would like to have a son as well as the man wish. Also, members of the family are cats and two parakeets of the children. He is the perfect middle-class man with the perfect house in the suburbs, the perfect family, and the perfect life. We are also led to believe that he is a Christian due to his invocation to God at the end. Peter says, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God," on page 19. Peter is a quiet person, maybe because his environment consists only from women, his wife and daughters. He doesn't refer anywhere in Friends that the only thing we know that he enjoys is reading in the bench every Sunday. Peter says, "I have come here for years. I have heard hours of great pleasure, great satisfaction right here," on page 17. Psychological aspect. Peter seems really proud of all his achievements in business and his organized personal life. He has what every low-class man would wish for. He is safe inside the cage he created for himself, and he does not want to let himself into animalistic behaviors or try anything new. He is afraid of the unknown. He is afraid that he might like it. Jerry's confessions make him feel uncomfortable, and he doesn't like that. Peter says, I don't understand that. I don't think," now almost tearfully, "why did you tell me all this, Jerry? Why not, Peter? I don't understand." Finally, when Jerry tickles Peter, we can see that the second is let loose and set his mind free to show the truth. His children are described as animals, and the house is the zoo. Peter says, as Jerry tickles, "Oh, he, I must go, he, after all, stop, he, after all, parakeets will be getting dinner ready soon, he, and the cats are setting the table, stop, and he likes his own personal zoo and he wants to get back there as soon as possible." Moral aspect. At first we can see Peter with good manners worthy of his social class. He closes his interesting book to have a strange discussion with an unknown weird man. He doesn't want really to talk with Jerry, but he must not show any sign of this. It would not be polite. During the play, his character is involving, and as said before, Jerry is manipulator of human mind that results to make Peter act like an animal. Peter fights for his bench, but he does not want to use the knife and stab anyone. He is not a violent person, but at the end he has no other option but being a wild animal and fight over the prey with the enemy. Character sketch of Jerry. Jerry personal condition. To start with Jerry's personal condition, one may perceive that Jerry is juvenile oddity. For example, his practicing of homosexuality with an older boy at the age of 15 comes as a result of his family disintegration. In telling his family history to Peter, Jerry says that his mother forsakes them and leads the path of vice. This indicates that his mother's separation from his father and her later death leaves great gap in Jerry's early life. Not only that, but his father's death by a bus accident aggravates his sense of alienation. He is as a result taken in by his aunt who dies on his high school graduation day. He feels alienated and lonely in the absence of maternal and fatherly guidance. When he enumerates his personal belongings, he tells Peter that he has two empty picture frames, but he does not have picture of anyone to put in them. Even his parents don't leave behind them any sort of tangible memory. The emptiness of the frames reflects that his parents are nothing now but shadowy and superficial memories hardly flashing in his own mind. The absence of their picture represents the shallowness of their present memory in his life. The social side of Jerry. The social side in Jerry's life is of prime significance in shedding light on his state of alienation. Jerry, for example, repeats the word "the zoo" more than 17 times throughout the play, mainly to provoke Peter and make him respond. It shows that people in America are just like animals in the sense that they are barred by complacency, self-interest, and indifference to one another. Animals in the zoo are barred by bars, but Americans are separated from one another by the absence of real human relationship. From such a horrible milieu emerges the notion of alienation that Jerry as an American suffers from. He repeats this sentence, "I have been to the zoo," to make Peter respond to him, but the latter is preoccupied with the mental realm of this book. Jerry says, "I have been to the zoo." Peter doesn't notice. "I said I've been to the zoo. Mister, I've been to the zoo." Peter, what? I'm sorry, were you talking to me? On page 21. Peter hardly pays any attention to Jerry. He, as a result, is obliged to be in the midway between reading his book and hearing Jerry provoke. Final side. Jerry tells Peter that he lives in a small room in a rooming house in a poor section of the city. He knows who other tenants are, but he does not have real communication and contacts with his neighboring tenants. Like the animals in the zoo, Jerry and other tenants are separated from one another by the wall of indifference, self-interest, and complacency. In other words, Jerry lives in total isolation, alienation, in spite of knowing some meager particulars about the lives of other tenants. Every one of the tenants is living in his own small zoo. The colored queen, for instance, is preoccupied with plucking his eyebrows, wearing his kimono, and going to the John. The Rican family, on the other hand, seems to be self-sufficient and independent, whereas the front room is preoccupied by a total unknown person to Jerry, and the last line of quotation emphasizes the grave state of alienation and isolation in which Peter lives. Okay, bye bye.